Well, this is it. This is my podcast, and thank you for tuning in to Cameo with Nevin Webster. My first guest is actually an old friend from college. His name's Ted Morton. Really interesting guy. Excellent interview. I hope you enjoy. Here it is.
Hello.
Hey, Ted.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Here. Good.
Yeah, I have a little microphone set up for this. I want to make this podcast, as top quality as possible. Yeah. Well, in all honesty, the quality comes from the people that I have on. So thank you for chatting with me today.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, and so I'm obviously trying to reach Kamloops and share the different personalities of Kamloops with this podcast, which I'm calling Cameos with Nevin Webster, which I think is a fun little pun. So where in Kamloops would people know you from?
Probably biking. Biking is probably the main thing most people would have met me through or seen me around. Is I've kind of been in every little corner of mountain biking in Kamloops. So
okay,
that's my claim to fame.
So you are in Kamloops, though, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Kamloops. Yeah, we live in Pineview.
Okay, what made you choose Pineview?
It was the trails. We really value kind of green space and being close to, quick access to trails, and that's kind of why we chose to be up here. Like, we could have, been in other places and other areas of town, but I think Pineview's got the perfect mix of, quick access to trails. It's got a lot of green space and kind of just that, really, really kind of being able to roll out your door and go for a ride. That's really what we value about it. So.
Awesome. Yeah. I bought just recently myself here in Kamloops, so I'm pretty excited about the real estate market, and even more excited that I think I see some races that you put on. What's your business?
So I run mountain bike events, and it kind of started out, I was kind of doing a little bit of mountain bike guiding and instructions, and I had lessons running in the city as well. Like I was doing lessons to the city of Kamloops, and then kind of morphed into running mountain bike events. We run mountain bike enduros, and I also run North America's only helicopter-supported mountain bike race.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
that's pretty cool. Okay, well, how'd you end up in Kamloops? Because you're not from Kamloops, if I understand.
No, I'm from Ontario originally. Like many people, the highway only moves one way. You can only go west. So we actually, I went to college with you. You remember that. So we went to college in Ontario, and then after college, we had the agreement with the university, our college, to do 2 years in college and 2 years at university. And so we knew, my partner Carrie and I, we kind of both knew that we wanted to end up, out west somewhere. We didn't really know where. And this was kind of a good starting point, I should say. And so we made the trip out, I guess, 6 years ago. Yeah, probably 6 or 7 years ago. And then, we just basically came to Kamloops for TRU and kind of fell in love with it. And Carrie, my partner, also owns a business in town. So, it's kind of a good spot to be. Good weather.
Yeah, totally. I'll pull back the fourth wall real quick for the audience. I was playing a little bit dumb. I don't really know how this whole interview thing goes. Ted and I go way back. He was actually one of my mentors for college. And then, when I came out here, him and your partner Carrie, you pretty well inspired me in many ways. I always saw you around town, and you're kind of a power couple. What's your partner's business?
Carrie runs Freeze Athletics, and Freeze Athletics is a competitive cheerleading gym just on Laval. So she's one of there's not very many gyms in Canada, and she's kind of one of the newer gyms in the last 3 or 4 years. And they actually just got a bid to, it's called the Summit, which is kind of like a world's competition, international competition in Florida. So yeah, she's been growing quite quickly with the business, and competitive cheerleading as a sport is kind of, progressing. They've got a trial to the Olympics, not her team, but competitive cheerleading will be probably in the 2024 Olympics. So that's huge.
Wow.
So it's.
And that's all out of Kamloops here.
Right out of Kamloops.
So you're running mountain biking races. She's, potentially going to the Olympics with local Kamloopsians. Is that correct?
Yeah, it could be. And, who knows what the next kind of, 6 to 8 years will hold for cheerleading. But that's really, that's a possibility, like 6 to 8 years for an athlete development. she could be taking local Kamloopsians to the Olympics. So I wish my discipline of mountain biking was there, but maybe one day we'll see. We're not a sanctioned sport yet, so we'll see how it goes.
Hey, if I understand anything about the Olympics, everything's in the air right now, so it's quite possible.
That's it. Skateboarding, cheerleading, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Well, for people who like myself, I have to admit, Ted, I am terrified of bikes. When we did the college program, I think you actually led one of my groups, and if you remember, I was at the very back of the pack. I was terrified. Where should someone in Kamloops start? Where is ground zero? They want to take a friend who's in a similar ability level, which is zero. What's the first step?
Well, one, you got to get a bike. That's usually the starting point, but most people have a bike kicking around. And that's really the key, is like just riding. Riding anything, anywhere is kind of the main starting point. So, you start out riding your bike, and most people transition through sometime in their youth and they start getting into the youth, but we're seeing a lot more adults get into it. And typically when adults start, they're a little bit more hesitant, like you were saying, it can be intimidating. So the easiest way to do it is really through lessons and through the bike club. So I've been a director with the bike club for 4 years now. And with the bike club, we actually run introductory lessons through the city. So they're running in the spring, and I think there's one session in the fall. And that's probably the best way to do it. You get out, you meet a whole bunch of new people that are also new to biking, or mountain biking specifically. So beginner focused lessons. And, that's the best starting point, because to try and figure out yourself, you could totally do, but the lessons are kind of a quick and easy way to get into the sport. It's changed a lot. It used to really be that you would just kind of get a mountain bike and try and figure it out yourself. But now it's much like any other sport, where you've got progression-based lessons with instructors that are certified, and they have first aid. And these courses that I started about, I guess that was 3 or 4 years ago, through the city are very, very non-intimidating. So the goal with them was, we just wanted to get people of Kamloops that were interested in this, using those recreation spaces, using those trails. And some of them just, they've been using them for 30 years hiking, and we just want them to explore it in a different way. So that's probably the best way to get involved and get started. And then from there, you can kind of progress and choose different disciplines, and the sky's the limit. How much do you want to spend, and how far do you want to go? But that's probably the easiest way to get in, and really just kind of being part of that community. So you're chatting with the bike club and coming out and meeting those people, it'll get you hooked. And now we've got some wicked fat bike trails in town too. So we're just outside of town at Isabel Lake, so you can bike all year if you want.
Yeah, well, I have to thank all the mountain bikers in Kamloops for really building one of the best trail systems I've ever come across. I'm a runner, I like to trail run, and you guys have done a fantastic job marking them and really just laying them out. Is there a particular area in Kamloops maybe beginners should check out if they've taken a lesson and they want to then go for a ride?
Kenneth Cartwright has some pretty good, easier terrain around the back. So around the backside off like Pacific Way and Rockcrest is kind of the more low angle, less intimidating. Lac du Bois, or Batch, as many people know, is realistically the best spot to start out. The only downside is in the summertime, it's scorching hot. So usually spring and fall, you'll see a lot more people in and around Batch doing that. But yeah, I would head out there or head out to Kenna, and even just riding on a gravel road, like if that's kind of where your level is and where you're starting out, there's no bad day on a bike. So just riding is riding.
Perfect. And we're coming close to what I would consider the average duration of a drive here in Kamloops. So trying to keep this podcast under 15 minutes. And as we're closing, you said you're working with the Kamloops City, or you have worked with the Kamloops City. You're part of the local club. Obviously, you're very involved in the growth of this Kamloops community that we have. What's something that you'd like to see Kamloops move into or start, or what do you want to see Kamloops in the future?
That's a good question. I think, specifically for my interests, I really love recreation. I love outdoor recreation. And I think this has been kind of on the cusp in Kamloops for like the last, 3 years. It's like we're just about to get over that long-term hurdle of, having a larger scope or a larger plan on kind of development. And I think that's going to be the next step, is where we actually either if it's either increasing the amount of trails or access to outdoor rec we have, or increasing the programming through events or through camps or through lessons. I think either one of those is going to be the kind of next big thing that I can foresee and that I'd like to see. I know through the club, we're working hard this year to roll out, kind of some more grassroots fun programs for kids and more entertaining little community events. And right now in Kamloops, we have a ton of events, mountain biking events, which is really cool. We're one of the few communities, like with my job, I'm pretty lucky to be able to travel all across BC and Canada and kind of see every community set up. And, I would say we probably have, for the size of our town, one of the most events, or one of the most full event portfolios for mountain biking. So that's what I really like. I like seeing that kind of stuff and people getting out and interacting. So yeah, I hope that continues, and I'd like to see kind of some more of that development happening. And I think we've got the right trail network and the right areas to kind of set up for that.
Awesome. Well, Ted, we're coming to a close here. Where can people find you, whether it be on the trails, online? How can they reach out to you? How can they join one of your races, or really just meet up for a ride?
You can always find me online. We're CanadianEnduro.com and Revelstoke3day.com, and that's the number 3 in Revelstoke 3day. Or just come up to Pineview and you'll see me on the trail somewhere. That's the easy way.
Just you and your dog. I think I've seen a couple pictures.
Yeah. I think Cadence is more famous than I am.
Hey, trail dogs are literally the best dogs to have. I have a boxer who runs with me, and she loves it. Well, thank you, Ted, for spending the time with us and all of Kamloops to kind of share what you do here in town, and see you on the trails.
Right on, Nevin, and thanks for doing what you do and bringing a highlight to showcase some awesome people.
This episode of Cameo with Nevin Webster is brought to you by TRU Generator. When I told TRU Generator that I was starting a podcast, they saw my vision the moment I sent them my MVP, which was this very podcast you just listened to. If you want to start a business and you aren't sure where to start with building MVP. TRU Generator would love to assist you and figure out what your MVP should be, which is your minimal viable product. For me, it was create an actual podcast that you just listened to. So you can find them in the basement of the Brown House of Learning at TRU. If you're not a student, check out the Kamloops Innovation Center. Both are great resources to help you figure out your MVP to help bring your business to life. Well, that's it. You made it to the end. Congratulations, and I hope you tune in for my next episode where I have Maddie Lowe talk about her mad world.